How's it going, guys? Cody, guys, back again, dropping yet another video. Right, guys, this is part 3, continuation of me reading serial killer Ian Brady's letters. Now, I don't have the letters in my possession anymore, as I've alluded to in the previous 2 videos. So I scanned 6 of the letters. I received numerous letters from Brady, a lot more than 6, but there were 6 that for some reason I scanned them, and I've got them on my phone. Because of Brady's handwriting, as you can see from the beginning of the video in the screenshots of the letters from the scans, his handwriting is pretty much illegible. So I spent several hours a day reading the letters, then writing down the content of Brady's words, word for word, in my own handwriting, so that then I can relay them to you. So everything that I say are Brady's words from his letters and stuff. Wrote to Brady because I thought that I could win his trust and stuff, and earn his trust, and try and find the location of Keith Bennett's body. Very naive, I know, but if you don't ask, you don't get, guys. And if you don't try, you'll never succeed. So Brady writes, 16th of September 2016. Dear Cody, thanks for yours of 1st and 8th of September and the Law-Abiding Citizen DVD. Denmark Road, ? Was in the old Moss Side in the 90s and 50s and 60s. It was just off Princess Road. It was a black ghetto of shops, pubs and clubs. The house I arrived at in 1953 was next to the old Moss Side Market. The whole area has now gone, of course, like the most of old Manchester. Funeral arrangements, ? Are all detailed in my will in the hands of my solicitors and London legal executors. There are no sole heirs to my estate. Enemy at the Gates, ? Yes, it's one of my favourite films. He said, yes, I've seen it. It's actually quite a good account of a battle within the Battle of Stalingrad. My favourite films in general, ? As I'm a film buff covering films from the 1920s to the present, there are too many to mention, including UK, US, European and world cinema. Apart from Al Jazeera for real news, I watch documentaries, films and plays, and quality series, old and new. No reality programs or TV or celebrity trash or spectacles. So that brings me on to the offer you receive from social media. Now, I was contacted by the Jeremy Kyle Show from one of their producers, because obviously I used to be involved with gangs and the criminal fraternity. They wanted me to go on the program, not as one of them like chavvy people, but to speak to someone that's going down the same route that I'm going to go down, and try to word them up and wise them up. I declined the offer, but I just told Brady about it in a letter. I was struggling for something to say, so I mentioned this offer. So this is what Brady says on the matter. He said, so that brings me on to the offer you receive from social media. These people search the media for targets to appear on such programs as the Jeremy Kyle Show, to publicly demonize and ridicule for entertainment of the ignorant rabble. I have trusted contacts in the quality media, but never the tabloids or gutter television. And then he goes on. I asked him, did you receive my Gorbals and Oatlands book and stuff, right? It was a book where it was pictures of where Brady was brought up. So he said, yes, I received the Gorbals and Oatlands, the Schaefer pen refills, etc., and acknowledged in previous letters to you. I must have missed it. I must have missed that he'd acknowledged them. No, I'm kept well informed by outside sources of all instances of individual exploitation and betrayals of confidence, and act accordingly to circumstance or importance by legal and other means. I've had 50 years experience, and some friends don't wait to be asked to assist by every method. Books, I don't read books. When I was in prison, I read a book about Brady. Apart from that, the last proper book I read was probably Biff and Chip when I was in primary school. True story. Try reading Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment, Nietzsche's Beyond Good and Evil, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I've read most of the world classics. No, I no longer read much at this late stage. He goes on to say, yes, prison seems to be the only industry left in Liverpool, And as I'm the only high-profile prisoner Ashworth holds to exploit using my name to demonise the mainly chemically embalmed or professional freeloaders stored here, and to glorify and justify the overmanned Merseycare Trust and POA parasites. He's scathing of Merseycare the whole time he was there. In every letter he slags them off. He goes on his little rants and stuff. He goes on to say, the next article, right, I personally take with a pinch of salt. Right? Brady was obviously, he was in prison originally as a child murderer, as a paedophile and a child murderer, right? Prisoners detested in prison are child murderers, paedophiles and rapists. Brady was a rapist, a paedophile and a child murderer, right? Despised. But these are Brady's words, so you decide if you believe this or if you don't believe it. If you believe some of it and not all of it, comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you make of the following paragraph. So Brady goes on. I had more freedom and trust in Durham Special Security Wing. It's obviously talking about Durham Prison. In the 1960s, right? This was after he was convicted for the murders, which held the great train robbers, Mad Frankie Fraser, the Richardsons, the Portland Spies, etc., where Ronnie Cray and I, Ronnie Cray, infamous Ronnie Cray, me and Ronnie Cray did the cooking. After 3 riots left 20 of us with a whole 4-story, 100-cell block to ourselves for 3 years. I also had a good 8 years at Wormwood Scrubs next in the 1970s, meeting thousands of interesting prisoners and keeping busy studying and translating books into Braille for schools for the blind. Now, I can confirm, it's well documented, that Brady did transcribe books into Braille for schools for the blind. Child murderer, but it's crazy that, isn't it? For the blind. And acting as the wing barber. Also played convicted ex-government minister John Stonehouse in the 1979 classic chess final. The match ending up as a Q&A in Trivia Pursuits. Contrast those few facts with the regressive Ashworth cemetery. Cemetery obviously died in Ashworth. And then he says, tattoo, question mark. A notorious Texas criminal had my face tattooed on his arm with my permission several years ago. The various places in Manchester where I've lived have all been demolished since. Ditto the offices where we operated. He goes on. Ashton-under-Lyne Station. Ashton's a part of Manchester. Tameside. We were interrogated by chiefs for 12 hours there in 1965, unsuccessfully. Hyde Police Headquarters and Court is now empty and disused. That's where the infamous pictures of Brady and Hindley, that's where that picture was taken, downstairs in that building. The one that everyone, like the headshots and stuff. They're now disused and empty. Dr. Harold Shipman followed us in giving Hyde even more notoriety, plus others since. Yes, I send all my mail by certificate of posting. I enclosed the signed label you requested for Janus. Best wishes, signed Ian Stewart Brady. P.S. Christmas card, early Christmas card enclosed. Now, going back to that last paragraph, right? Now, as a former prisoner, guys, yeah, knowing how detested paedophiles, child murderers, and rapists are, right? Brady was mixing with like some very notorious prisoners here, great train robbers, Frankie Fraser, the Richardsons, the Portland Spies, and where him and Ronnie Cray did the cooking. Now, I don't believe the statement because every single one of them would have targeted Brady because of the nature of his crimes. You could be in for murder, fine. Child murder, rape, paedophile, you'd be on the numbers. And like I said, then he went to spend 8 years at Wormwood Scrubs in the 1970s, studying and translating. Right, I know he did that with the books and stuff. Now, like I say, guys, you guys need to let me know what you make of what Brady writes and stuff. What certain people, they might be students of criminology, psychology, or sociology that read this, that listen to this vlog, Brady's words, and they're sort of trained to analyze and things like that, read between the lines and stuff. So I'm interested to see what you guys make of it. Please feel free to comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you made of what Brady had to say, how he comes across. Me personally, guys, obviously, when I was writing to Brady to befriend him and stuff, I was hoping that I could get a visit with him so then I could attack him. The idea being that I went on a visit once to Strangeways, right? Strangeways is a Cat 8 prison here in Manchester. And I wore a suit with a tie. And when I was patted down and wanded, no one checked my tie. So in my brain, I thought, if I can get a visit with Brady, and God knows I asked him enough times, and God knows he rejected me enough times, but if I could get a covert camera tie, so a tie with a camera within it that's a little pinhole camera, I could go to Ashworth on a visit, obviously, if Brady granted me that wish, and then I would be able to go in, record Brady during the visit so that people could, and then I would have made it public so people could see an old Brady, fragile, frail, death was going to catch up with him and stuff, frail, withering away, right? Then at the end of the visit, when there was like a minute or two left, I was going to launch an attack on Brady. Obviously then I would have been subsequently arrested, and then obviously it would have gone before the courts and stuff. I would have like openly bragged about what I did and stuff. I wouldn't have had long attacking Brady because obviously I would have been, all the staff would have jumped on me, but I would have done him some, I'm a big lump, and I would have done him some damage. Like I say, I wanted to exploit Brady and I wanted to get the location of Keith Bennett's body and stuff. But when you're writing to people like that, you can't jump in and attack them because they'll just cut all correspondence with you. So you've got with narcissistic, self-loathing people like Brady, who thinks he's above people. I put him on a pedestal. I played the I'm a thick uneducated street kid. You're the all-seeing, all-doing. You're very intelligent. How do you get the mental stimulation that you surely need in that place as obviously an academic and a pseudo-intellectual? And like I said, I was but the angle that I used, I believe I got to know Brady on a different platform to academics and journalists that were trying to write to Brady with the intention of picking his brain. Brady was obviously clued up to this. In the first letter that I read to you, Brady states, I had many offers from universities, journalists, academics and stuff. They all wanted to pick his brain because obviously they analysed, they overanalyzed and stuff like that. I was a thick and educated street kid. He thought I had no agenda. I had an agenda. Like I say, I wanted to get the location of Keith Bennett's body so it could be repatriated with his mother. Naive, I know, but if you don't ask, you don't get. It's as simple as that. And I tried relentlessly. And like I say, Mairead Philpott, right? She was put in my hands. Brady, right? He thought he was manipulating me, and I was actually using him. So, and I hung in there with Brady and stuff. I had to keep him interested. I had to stimulate him mentally and stuff like that to try and get the information and stuff and befriend him. And the more I befriended him and the more I ran around for him, getting Schaefer pen refills, closed V triangle envelopes that he requested, DVDs and stuff like that, then he started sending me DVDs back and stuff. And that's when I started to work my questions in between the talking about just mundane stuff, to be honest with you. It really drained me when I was writing to Brady, simply because I had to do research on what he was into, about the Marquis de Sade, obviously the Hitler, his obsession with Hitler and the Mein Kampf book and all these sorts of things. I had to study and stuff like that and try to find common ground with Brady, which is hard because apart from the fact of I live in Manchester where he committed his crimes, I lived in Hyde where he committed his crimes, I've been in Strangeways, he'd been in Strangeways, and I used to work at the King's pub where he used to drink, right? That's where the similarities fucking go, right? No common ground. Brady wouldn't, in my social circle, I wouldn't be someone that Brady would have ever like been friends with because I wasn't on his level. But again, he was manipulative, he was narcissistic. So with these sorts of people, you have to massage the ego. You've got to like I say, I'm a thick, uneducated street kid, guys. I've not got a GCSE to my name, but I'm far from thick. I'm actually very switched on, and I think I've got like a little niche for getting in with these sorts of people. I'm not a grass or anything. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't do this with people that I knew or anything. It's just simply like Brady never showed remorse for his crimes, and the last bit of power he had was, did he know the location of Keith Bennett's body? Did he remember? Had the ground changed that much that he'd forgotten? Personally, I believed he knew exactly where the body is, and that was his last bit of power and control. And if he would have revealed that location of Keith Bennett's body, God bless Keith Bennett, then he wouldn't have had anything left to play with. So it goes on that way. There's another letter, guys, I need to read to then write down so then I can relay. It's about 8:20 now, so I don't know if I'm going to do it today or tomorrow. I might get bored and do it now. Right, guys, leave it here. Like, comment, subscribe. Put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the first video, the second video, and the third video. There's going to be a fourth one, so I'll leave it there, guys. Speak to y'all soon. Cody out. Bye.